But there's companies out there that have those super machines that process that stuff. I've never worked with one myself, but I've seen some video examples. Pretty impressive, but
I'll bet.
not for our budget.
No, probably not. Probably a $20,000 computer or something like that. Maybe a lot more than that.
Yeah, that would be the base model. Yeah. All right. I was just wondering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, play around a little bit. Give any of those a try, and see what happens.
Right.
All right. Were you able to add these variables, Barry?
No, I'm just watching. I don't even have that up on my screen. Do you have sample files of like that thing right there where we could just drop it in and pick up?
Well, I can certainly send this to you. This is just a continuation of what we did on last Wednesday. Remember we made a panel?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saved it. I started saving more things. Voltage flanges, test. Yeah, I think I've got it. I did play around with it a little bit more on profiles or just creating a profile.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to bring in a bitmap image and trace that image of a profile. That was just a proof of concept experiment that I did. So it's not like I haven't done anything HiCAD related. I'm just not on that page. So yeah, I still have that file. It is I've got the 3D piece right there and also the unfolded piece. What do we call that? Development, yeah. So that's where I'm at. Yep.
Okay. Well, go ahead and add these two variables, IL and IH. And you're going to do that by expanding your feature step for the base sheet here at the very top. And instead of whatever length and width you used, you're going to now use a variable IL and IH.
Sheet width. I_L. And have it
actually the panel.
I'm getting an error. I'm doing this wrong.
Let's take a look. Share your screen.
Right. That's fine. Okay, so trying to look at yours for an example. I_L.
I can't see anything if you meant to share.
Oh, I'm not sharing.
There you go.
Okay. So what I'm doing is enter. Yeah.
Oh, the parentheses happen automatically, so just get rid of the parentheses. You don't need it here since it's one variable.
And the 100, you got to get rid of that too.
What is it?
Mine was giving me the error message that way too. I had to delete everything. Yeah.
Okay, so
there you go. Just hold on. No, you could type there too. Just get rid of the 100. So backspace, 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 and then I_L. Enter. And then see what it's asking you is what do you, no, you need to answer that.
I'm sorry, because I hit tab, I didn't hit enter, like you said.
Oh, okay, so it works now. So you assign the variable and it asks you, it prompts you, what do you want the variable value to be?
Oh,
So let's try it again for the IH. So you get rid of that.
I_H,
Okay.
enter.
And now it's going to say, what do you want the value of IH to be? And it's suggesting the value it was a moment ago for you to either concur or change it to something else.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have your variable list. Where is it? It's up there with your, okay. It's up there with your views, HCM, graphics, properties, variable.
I'm looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, you know how your views, your sheets, where your sheets and views are?
Right here.
So down at the bottom, you got a bunch of tabs below that.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have one that says variables. Okay. And you see how you now see those variables that you just created.
Yeah.
Now you created them in the feature list and it prompted you for it. You can also right mouse button at the top level there where you see your Aluminum, and say add variable. And here's how you could add them before you use them. So you can add them as you use them in most cases, or you can add them before you use them. Where you could just say add variable. We can look at it quickly.
Go ahead and hit it.
Yeah, go ahead and hit it. And here's where you can say, variable name, I don't know, flange length or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you could give that a value of something. So we're going to focus right now on numbers, but at a later date, we can also use edges and surfaces and parts to do more complex parametrics. At the very bottom, a list variable, basically that should say a catalog variable. I don't know why they went with list. It's catalog.
Okay.
Where you can create a link to your catalog in your parametrics.
Well, that's a pretty cool feature. Okay.
Well, actually, we'll use that shortly, but step by step.
Okay.
All right. So good. Barry, if you wanted to play around with those values briefly, to change the IL to be, something different, and you'll see, your panel grow or shorten depending on the value.
Yeah. Okay. Put it back to 100. And that is really cool. Right on.
All right. Yep.
You do it all from right there.
So what you just saw here is the very core of how the automation works, for example, with the cladding panel. Of course, we'll expand on that bit by bit. We'll learn another strategy for complex shapes, but this is the very core basics for how the parametrics interact. And you could also, let's add just a little bit more, and then we're going to go use what we built. So let's say, for example, under flange creation, here's, you could use a value for flange length. Here, you don't have to use F length. You can use whatever you want it to be.
So these are all under there, even though we're not necessarily using these features, they're still listed under there
Well,
when you click on the
you remember you used the feature length
variables.
when you created the flange, and you see, looky here, since I added this variable for the length, look, I actually open up the dialog back up and it tells me that the length is now a variable. So just because
Right.
we made the flange and moved on, all this stuff still happened. It's just being logged here underneath the feature step. And some of these are, like this one's a little simpler, but some of these feature steps, they can go pretty deep. You got all this, you got, you know, cutting tools for your edge group, for your groove, for the flange. So some of these can get pretty long, and other ones stay kind of short. Just depends on, you know, what's going on, of course. So let's say that you take this flange length and you go to each flange and you input that variable. And usually how I do this, so I don't get confused, I expand, I add it, what's the opposite of expand? I contract it back together and move on to the next. And I'll just work my way down. Like this, so I don't get too confused as well, did I add it to this flange yet? Well, I don't know. And then you have to keep looking back to see whether you did it or not. So that's kind of my little process there.
So you're basically assigning these variables to that part that you created by way of the variables tab.
Correct. And in a lot of cases, almost any inputted value in this can be a variable, you know, including, you know, angle. Here's a catalog tool. Maybe there'd be a neat way to you know, link to the catalog in this situation. I've never had to do that, but somebody may need to do it one day.
So what were you were typing in the F? What was the process?
Yeah. So I would come in here, flange creation, and then length. And here I created a variable to control the flange lengths. Because let's just say, for example, here it is in my feature step. Let's say I want it to be 2 inches, and it gets 2 inches on every flange because I added this variable to every flange. This just allows you control to make changes depending on the situation or the project or whatever.
Right.
So my suggestion would be, let's keep this simple, but let's still, you know, add a little bit of meat to it here. Let's just put a variable for flange length in for all 4 of these flanges. And next step here is that we're going to use this panel on an elevation here so you can sort of start to see how it all works together.
I must have failed to create the variable because I'm not seeing it in the list.
Perhaps so. If you didn't create it, you can create it in the feature step and it'll add it over here, or you can come back over here and add it first and then apply it. So you can do cart before the horse or the horse before the cart here in this situation.
I put F in there, but it doesn't say F length. So can I share my screen?
Yeah, please, no problem.
So what I did is this is showing up here. What was I clicked in here and just hit F thinking it was
Okay.
going to show up here, but I'm not seeing a flange length. I'm thinking that the variable just needs to be created.
But flange length is something I pulled out of the air. That's
Oh, okay.
a Robert variable. That's not a HiCAD variable.
We can call it anything then.
So
Well,
you
I'd like
can
to
create
call
a berry variable here for whatever sounds good to you.
I like what you got there. Flange
Okay.
length.
So
So-
you can continue. You can either come over there to your variable list and rename that. This is pretty cool. If you right click and say rename, and
Yeah.
now change this to what you'd like it to be now.
For the sake of following the example, there's F length. Okay.
Okay, you see how it's changed. It's going to change it everywhere it's used in the entire model. Now that's very useful because say you start working and a name sounds good to you, but then you get, another further into the model and you start saying, oh man, I wish I would have called it this instead. Just come back here and change it in your variable list and it will be applied to every situation that you use that.
Okay.
I know right now it's maybe only one spot, but you're about to add that to 4 spots, and very likely a situation could be where you added that to far more than 4 spots.
There it is.
Yeah, and it starts to guess what you're trying to say as you start typing, which can be kind of nice.
Yeah. So I noticed these ones actually have a description, it looks like. Is there a way to, or will we even be using this often enough to record a description? Is this something we have to recreate for every model, for every project, every drawing?
If it's your variable, then yes. However, the idea behind this panel is to create a general parametric panel that can apply to a variety of situations. Maybe from project to project, maybe it's unique to a certain project. But what most customers do is they try to build it general enough to where, you can change the material, but, the shape is still the same. I mean, you can adjust the length of your flanges. You can swap out profile systems. I have customers that want to build like a super panel, which, okay, I can understand the want to do that. But what often those customers do is it takes them, you don't want to build a super panel at the very beginning when you're learning this. You want to learn the functions, and don't be afraid to create a panel from job to job. I got another guy, and I'm not sure, I find this a little interesting, but every job, he builds a panel for that job, and then he applies it to the job. Maybe the next job, he opens up that panel and makes changes, and then saves it as another variant. He does it that way. He's the only one I know of that does it that way, but that works for him. But I know it maybe took a hot minute for us to build this panel and input these variables, but think of after a little bit of practice, I mean, what we did just here is about 10 minutes worth of work, if that, once you get the swing of it.
Right. Okay.
But what you're seeing there with a sort of a description out to the side, those are more system variables. And we have some information in to help kind of on different things you can do. But also it's kind of going to it's a little bit of learn by doing there. As far as, what's in your mind that you want to do parametrically in that situation, and then let's try to find a command that does what you're looking for.
Right.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, I know.
You could pretty much stay busy with this your whole life.
Right?
But let's start simple and basic, and we'll just build step by step, and try to determine what workflow will work best for you in the beginning, and maybe that's different workflow after maybe a little bit of experience, but we can just start there and evolve as we go.
Okay. I like that. We're going to do all 4 sides like this.
Yep. And I know these panels pretty well. That was one of the things I hit pretty hard in the beginning.
Okay.
Okay, looks good. You okay over there, Marco?
Yep.
Okay.
Feel pretty good.
Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna get rid of this flat pattern because I'm not really focused on it right now. All right. Now we are building. We have one panel here, but let's just say, generally speaking, you're gonna have some kind of assembly. Let me change this over to assembly, not a main assembly. So generally speaking, you're going to have a panel assembly, and then underneath the assembly, you're going to have, well, yes, a sheet metal or ACM part, and then profiles and clips and fasteners and whatever else. So let's go ahead and start an assembly here in your model and drag this sheet metal part underneath the assembly.
So how did you start that assembly again?
I'm going to do it in a new drawing, because if I delete that, then things start to go awry. So here, let's say you got some kind of basic sheet metal part. All right, pretend it has flanges. So here, you just start here in assembly, and you can call this, panel, or if it's a particular product line that you guys do, you could describe that nicely here. I don't know. Let's just say
this is from a new drawing.
I started in a new drawing to demonstrate how to add an assembly.
Okay.
So you have an assembly, you have a sheet metal part. You want that sheet metal part to be inside the assembly. That's all we did.
I'm looking for that 3D part tab like you've got next to your 2D part tab. So I'm right there. And I need to...
You lose it?
Yeah. So right click in that box. Okay, main assembly or just assembly, 3D assembly?
Let's just do a regular assembly. The main assembly is generally used to be the very top assembly for, say, your entire building.
Okay.
Then you there it is. Assembly.
You said don't do main assembly, right?
Let's just do a quote unquote assembly, not a quote unquote main assembly.
Gotcha. Assembly.
I've got a main assembly 3D, assembly 3D, or create structure assembly 3D.
Part in assembly. Cool.
Forget about the structural assembly for now.
Okay. All right. Just hit OK on the assembly creation.
Yep. So
And
as soon as you have it here, you want to just drag down your ACM piece so that it's now underneath the assembly.
Okay. Yeah, mine looks like yours. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got an extra main assembly on mine up at the top, but I think that's all right.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's not really needed, but it's not doing any harm.
Yeah.
So the reason we did that is you see how your variables here activate the sheet metal part. Your variables are underneath your Aluka bond. They're underneath your sheet metal piece. Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, right now we only have a sheet metal piece, but when we add stiffeners and clips and profiles, we're going to have a panel assembly, and we want these variables to apply to all parts in the assembly. So I'm going to move these variables from the part level up to the assembly level here in the variables tab.
Oh, okay. So it's like a structural tree, like a tree.
It's a structural for your variables. Variables can be under parts only or assemblies or, kind of whatever you need.
So now what this does is it's telling it where these are no longer just applying to a single part, they're going to apply to the entire assembly.
Correct. Because let's say when we go to add maybe a stiffener on behind this flange here,
right.
And we want the length to be able to parametrically adjust with the panel. Well, we can relate that stiffener length to IL with maybe some additional factors to shorten the end a little bit. And now that profile is going to correctly adapt with the panel. Otherwise, the panel is going to change and the profile is just going to stay as it was. So in this situation, we want variables to apply, excuse me, to the whole assembly.
Okay, that makes sense. A good feature.
Okay. So let's use what we've learned here to do a simple little example project. Okay. So first off, it's never a bad idea to save periodically, but we need to save this panel to the library. And here I'm going to name mine a little bit better than just, let's say, panel Mullets, because I've got so many panels in my library. Okay, so the process to save this panel to the library to use on, say, a cladding project, the command is over here in civil engineering.
Well, I don't have a civil engineering tab on the right side.
Sometimes it's a little hidden, but if you don't have it at all, it would be a docking.
Oh, okay, so click on that thing up there.
But it's usually active by default, so maybe share your screen because I bet it's over there just hiding from you.
Okay, sharing. Got drawings, sheet metal
All
cost
right.
calculation.
Nope, you really don't have it. So let's add it via the docking windows.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. And you see civil engineering functions.
Yep, right there.
And here's where I don't feel like civil engineering is the best term here, but these are basically extra functions for various modules, such as steel, some general engineering, glazing construction, sheet metal. So layout planning, I'm not sure why they use that term, but layout planning is for cladding. It's your cladding functions. And just go ahead and click the layout planning top there. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to
and
write that down.
Yep.
Under civil engineering functions.
Mm-hmm.
Equals cladding.
Yes. It used to be called element installation, which I feel is better, but
yeah.
So
okay,
sometimes I feel like they change something just to change something.
What do we do at this point?
Just click layout planning. And these are all various commands that we'll be working with. Maybe not everyone, but some of them you can make them smaller, bigger, whatever. So the one on the third row, second one from the end, with the little save disk. So this is save this variant for element installation. Now I want to point out that Barry, you happen to have it selected, but you see how your panel mullets is the active part in the structure?
Yeah.
Meaning it's red. So you want to make sure that that is the active part before hitting this button. So let's say you incidentally have a profile selected when you call up that button. Well, then you're saving only that profile. You're trying to save that profile as an element, which probably won't work so well.
We want to make sure whatever we want to apply that to is highlighted over here then, right?
Correct. Yep.
And panel mullets and not test one.
Not test one is technically the drawing. It's not really the assembly. It's kind of like your DWG is the drawing, but your block is something different, right?
Yeah. Okay, so keep it like that, and then go with
And you hit that button, and maybe I'll just teach from your screen here for a moment.
Yeah. Then highlighted that part and brought this up here. Save as catalog part.
So this is step one for saving it. Who can tell me, remind me what the two parts of the catalog are? You've got
your material library
and a profile library.
Not quite. What I was thinking was we've got a database that manages the files, and then you have the actual files that reside on your server or PC or wherever they are. So what you see here is the top is the database part, and the bottom is the file structure for where we're going to save this. So at the top, we've got some tables set up for situations such as this, but we could at a later time maybe set up a unique table for Mullets products. But for today, let's click on that ISD example table, And
Double-click.
this is the table that we're going to save this panel to. Okay, so this table is going to manage this panel. Below, we need to save the actual panel file, part file somewhere. In which case, you could create a new folder here. I'm not sure I'll let you create the folder right here. We probably have to leave this menu and come back. Or you could use the example folder there if you would like. You can always move things. So just because you saved it in one spot right now doesn't mean you can't put it somewhere different later.
Okay.
It's not like a one and done. Okay, you have control and flexibility there. So we've selected a table and we've selected a directory. So notice article number. It's adopting that from your panel assembly. However, you can edit that field if you want it to be something more unique or just something different. I think in this case, it's probably a good suggestion.
To make it unique, edit it.
You could edit it further right now if you want, or you could leave it alone. Just pointing it out.
Okay.
So now that we have this part done, let's keep that checked for Start Dialog Editor. Okay, and you'll understand what that is in a minute. Let's go ahead and select OK. And since you guys work to the same directory, Marco, you probably don't want to save it the exact same name that Barry did.
Okay. I put a space that worked.
That's fine. So here we have our dialog editor. And I'm going to jump back to my screen here because I think it'd be a little easier.
Okay.
So I'm going to save mine real quick. Okay, this is what we call our GUI editor or a dialog editor. I don't know if you remember from the demo where we kind of had a configurator for the panel where you could say top return, left return, whatever else, material, any coding or any of that. I know the demo was a while ago and possibly parts of it flew over your head, but we had a panel configurator in there. Well, this is basically the creator. This is how you build something like that. And we're going to keep it simple this time. Let me go try to remind myself what I usually do here. Okay, so over here you have all the variables in your model that are not system variables will appear here. So right now we only have one, but so like IL and IH are not here. That's because it works in the background. Okay, it's going to measure the bounds of the grid that we're going to build, and it's going to automatically adjust the IL and IH so that that panel fits correctly into that spot on the grid. I don't know if you remember that part from the demo. We do a grid, and we applied a panel system to that grid.
I remember that.
So next to it here, we have a toolbox, and these are your various commands that go into building something like this. And let's see, if you want to be reminded here as to where we're trying to head, let me just create a quick example here. So this is an example of what we could build. So here's where you can say, here's the material for the panels. You can say, here's where, let me switch the preview on. Here's where I could say, you know, these 3 panels need a top return. Now we haven't built a top return into the panel yet, but we're getting there. So this is where you can arrange, you arrange for it in the model and you arrange for it in the GUI. So this program here is what's used to build this, okay? I'll just go ahead and apply this so I have an example I can keep coming back to if I need to. So let's keep this simple, but let's say we want to create a simple GUI kind of like this, because the only parameter we have, oh, come on, why'd you scroll? Here we go. So right now we have flange length. We could put a header called flange parameters, and we could put some kind of image in here for, you know, for mullets or a picture of the panel. You could also do. So let's say we start a tab group. Where is it? I'm blind right now.
The very top, tab control. Or tab?
Yeah, thank you. Man. So here, this is one of my favorites here, tab control, because you can add as many tabs as you want. You can size this reasonably. Let's say tab 1 is, you know, flange parameters or whatever you would like to call it. And let's say tab 2, we could delete. Let's say we want to remove it because we don't need it right now. It's here. You can come up here to the top right. The top right here is the kind of the structure of this configurator that you're building. So let's say we remove this one. We can always add more here. So we got tools, we got variables here, tools here, your kind of your workspace here in the middle. And then this is going to be your structure of your configurator that you're building. And down here at the bottom right are parameters associated with the active item in the build space here. So let's say we have flange parameters and we want to drag this over, for example, because we want this to be called flange length.
We're basically creating a custom graphical universe, user interface.
Correct.
That will be project specific.
It's panel specific. So the panel that we're building over here, every panel will have a panel file, a panel part file saved in the library. It's going to have a GUI file associated with that panel model, and it's going to have a CSV export, which is basically your variable list. So when we created this part, it automatically in the background exported your variable list to the CSV and automatically loaded that into this GUI editor. So that's how it links the variable from HiCAD to this GUI editor to a CSV file.
Okay.
So here, we can keep this short and sweet for now. So flange length, let's say just to make this a little more interesting, we also add a image, which is way too large, but we can size that. And let's say something like this. And let's say that we put an image here of this panel. Oops, sorry about that. Let's say we take a picture of the product here, and I'm going to save this snip to somewhere. Let's say my desktop. You can save this as these types. And let's say
that is really cool, by the way. I like that.
Panel mullets. And now I can load the file here. Image group. Where is my... Oh, I created a group, not just a image. Image is down here. I'm sorry. I made an image group instead of an image down here. So I'm going to use this one instead. I click on the image and look here. I can load the file. And somewhere, here it is. You could say auto scale if you want. And now we have a very mini configurator here that we can continue to build on. So go ahead and spend a couple minutes to create this similar to mine. You can use your own ideas if you want, that's fine.
So is there a page where this starts at in this particular document? The Imperial Elements?
It's basically this page here, but it doesn't exactly, it was intended to be used with training, not necessarily go step by step through this. Sorry about that. But we are here on page 5.
All right. I was way past that. Move on 10.
There is some good pages in the help. No, not on Craigslist, but on
Not even a thing anymore?
Here in element installation, and then customer specific dialogues. We do have a nice page here showing, I'm looking, showing some information such as this on what should the dialogue look like. It goes into some finer details. So I'll send that.
Dude.
I'll share this link here, Barry, to the chat.
Okay.
And this link here is going to be the top level of this page, but you can then dive into these sub pages as well.
All right. Let me open that up. Yeah, I was going to ask. I think this is probably a little deep to do the hover and press F1 trick you described last week, right?
I don't know. Let's see. Probably because, well, I don't know. It might be because this is a separate application. You notice that it opened up a little green icon instead of a red.
Yeah.
So probably, yes. The answer is yeah, it's probably because it's a separate app, not directly inside of HiCAD. But we do, it wasn't too hard to find in here because all I did was came down here to element installation and then I said further here, and then I saw here the pages on dialogues.
Right. I wrote that down anyway, so I know where to find it. Plus, I got your link.
All right. Cutting something.
I'm still stuck.
I got it pretty close.
What, Marco?
But I got it pretty close. I haven't used the Mullets aluminum logo because I didn't really want to save the picture and put the panel in there. But
yeah, that's fine.
That's cool. All right, I found where it's at. So
I took a snip of the panel because I didn't want to think of where my logo might have been on my hard drive.
I got to run to the restroom real quick. You want to give me a couple minutes? Be right back.
I do too.
I might do the same. Yeah, that sounds good. If we want to take 10.
All right. Oh no, we need to be clear. Oh, thank you.
And some people like it. Some people. If you haven't forgot, that sheet's coming over momentarily, but I was going to kind of updating some devices. You know, he called me or emailed me to say that and at the time I had a meeting with some answer, so now I'm getting part of it. Yeah, let's just do it. And yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
No excuse for you, mister. I like the help function, Marco. I feel like there's a link inside of that link that's really descriptive on this part of the process.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It would be, I don't know if I can paste in there or not. That one. That's the link under the link. And I still didn't get any. Did you get through this part?
I think so.
I did not.
So I share my screen for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
Popping up. Yeah, with my share.
What's the first part? I'm still stuck on the first part.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm there.
You got tab control, and then you gotta click on it and drag it on top of your grid.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't do
I know,
that.
I kept trying to click it. I'm like, what the hell? This ain't working.
Right.
I don't know how to get rid of it now. It's just don't put it on there. Or delete.
They don't have that little command or that little like a command line at the bottom that tells you what to do.
Oh,
I'll make
I
I'll
guess
make
I
sure I
got a different tab control on the side here. There we go. Hide. No, that's not the right one. Show. No, the right one. Hide. No. Whole box. Hide. There we go. Try to delete
And
that.
then what?
I just delete it with the delete button. What you got? Drag it over your tab control.
Yeah.
Then you click on the top here, give it a name. I had 2 boxes, so
I got 2.
I hit like hide on the one of them. Tab control, there's table 1, table 2, right click. You head to,
Okay.
right click, hide 1. Then just type in flange parameters. Click down here, type in flange length.
He deleted his second tab, didn't he? Or he just hit it?
I guess he had to
Hide
hide.
element. Yeah.
I don't think there's a way to delete it.
How'd you get the image in there?
Over here on the right side, you got the image, same thing, drag and drop.
Oh, the drag and drop.
Boop. Yeah. Scale it, and then where it shows your image down here at the bottom or something, where we're at.
My image is trying to go inside of that tab.
Yeah, you just gotta drag them around. Grab the top left corner and you move them.
Okay, I see.
And then once you want to select your image, go down here, the yellow bar. Try to find something. I went up here in the sales drive, Mullets logos, and just pulled up a pretty good Mullets logo. But
I've got one somewhere.
yeah, should pull up something fun. I don't want
I
that.
can't.
Second thing, clean.
I'm trying to get that.
Up here.
You know where that little file cabinet?
Oh, all the tools and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. What is Dr. Barry?
I don't know, man. Okay, I see how it's out there, outside of the. Drag this up. Drag this up. What Jeremy say he's coming over?
All right, I'm back. Jeremy said he's gonna come looking for you, so heads up.
What does he want?
I don't know. Got yours looking good, Barry?
Well, I gotta select my image still yet.
I might want to put a different one. I got some fun stuff in my government project. There we go.
Now I gotta find my image. I have some good images somewhere.
Got a Punisher logo. Should I put the Punisher logo?
You see those? Are you not looking at my screen?
No, yeah, shit.
Did I send you those?
Told me it was all.
Looking good, man.
What they ended up having to do to that freaking radius to get it right. They were showing it was way off at first with the for the light track.
They had to relay it out like I told them to the first time.
Jumps.
Yeah.
So when you follow the instructions, it actually works.
I'm gonna make that smaller. Move this down. No, leave that up. Move this up. And move this up. What am I missing, Marco?
When you drove, oh, you gotta go to the variables, I think. Because you did the one tab control. Go up to top to the variables.
Oh,
And then you
Drag
want to
and drop.
drag over this variable named Flange, right? No, the top one, right? Yeah.
oh yeah, that's like
You had the flange length one up in there. But yeah, drop that sucker in there. There you go. And then over here on the right side over there it says, wait, no, you don't want that one. You want to be on the other. So click on the small box inside your
This one?
to the left. Oh, yeah, just click in there somewhere. Or where it gives you the little cursor for the type. Yeah, there you can type flange length.
All right here.
Yeah. I think that's it.
So, did you hit OK or no?
No, I don't do anything.
Oh.
Looks good. Looks like mine.
Anyway, I'll show you those pictures. I hope I shared the right screen. Check that out.
Ooh, you know, that light track's in and everything.
Yeah.
Ooh. We gotta wait on all the electricians to put everything in before they need the rest of it, huh?
I guess.
Dan was saying something out there being kind of a little bit of gap in between the light tracks there. It's not bad. That one's a little weird on the right.
Yeah, I see that.
But
But yeah.
do some shimming.
They ended up having to just relay everything out properly. And I did notice that it is a little bit different because
Look on the light track line. I guess it might just because above it. That one line doesn't quite line up with
right.
the middle. The bottom it does. Okay. Yeah, it lines up just with it in there deeper or something.
One thing kind of throws me off is that. See how it's kind of.
Those must have been the ones I gave him at the end. I gave him a bunch of standard length ones, and they were like chopping them up. Or definitely looks like they chopped up some of those. Pretty nice.
Yeah, but they still didn't. I don't know.
Looks great for my house.
Yeah, right. But had they just done like I said from the very beginning.
Man, look at the color shift on that fucking platinum, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, down here it looks even darker. Look at that compared to this platinum out here.
Yeah.
Or is it pewter? Pewter.
Yeah, computer mica.
It's just like the drawing.
Nice. You drop those pictures in any of the like sales folders or something?
I will though after.
Okay. Or just XCAD transfer, whatever. They don't give a crap.
Yep.
Where did we put that? Projects. Oh wait, zoom in on this the back corner there where it meets the columns up top on the computer.
Here.
Yeah, that corner got really weird on me. Looks like they made it work though. Okay.
Yep. So what did you have to tweak on it
I was trying to
Toward-
decipher if
towards
I
the
was
end?
no, really. I was trying to figure out if it like having a bottom fold over and a side fold over if I was supposed to do like a miter cut or just a bottom flat and a side flat. But the side going back was like 13 inches and the bottom was 12, so I couldn't make an exact flap or met up just right.
Right about right? Right about over here on this one, lower right corner.
Up at the top where the canopy meets the column, the last panel on the back. It looks like they got to fit real nice.
Yeah. Wonder how the roof turned out.
Yeah.
They started that first, and I haven't heard anything, so I have to assume no news is good news.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they're about halfway through. Actually, no, they only got like the whole north face done. They haven't gotten anything past the north face and the two radiuses. There's still material sitting up there in the job site. It might be installing like today, this week or something, but there's still a chunk of them that I sent out and they didn't even get in yet. Ooh, there's those weird cheese grater things.
Did we make those?
Yeah. Chris had to individually paint each one of those little blue things a different shade of blue.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah,
guys.
they just like glued them on. He had to paint all those little things separate and we glue them on. Nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, Robert.
Hey, sorry, I was talking about your license.
Okay.
So I can give you a training license through December if you
Okay.
want.
Sure.
After that, you'll have to do the deactivate and activate thing from work PC to home PC.
Okay.
Or you could just do that now, but if you don't want to mess with that, we can do the training.
May as well use it like because I think I don't know, whatever you suggest. It's fine. Either way is okay. I like the idea of a training license because then what if I want to during the week or something? Not just the weekend kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we would just have to find a time to renew that every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he still has to get you the license. So maybe Friday we
No,
can
I
go
have
over
it.
that. Oh, you do? Okay.
It's the same thing you used during before we set you up with
Okay. Same
so
thing.
we have that license is available, and they change them from time to time, so they don't keep it constant. But I can look up whatever it is today, and just implement it. So
Okay. Sounds good. I was just showing Marco. I'm sorry. This was our last cladding project. Actually, it's still kind of current, but it's got all this wood grain cladding underneath, and then all of it was designed around a light track. And our installers originally went out there and misaligned the light track. They put it where they thought it should go, as opposed to where it was designed to go. And we already had all this ACM cut. So it's like we either recut all the ACM or you put it right where it was designed to go. And I gave them all the information they needed. They ended up having to do it right, but should have did it right from the get go. Would have saved a lot of hassle, but it's quite the project.
It's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. That kind of stuff.
Are those just little small segmented
Yeah, on those
going around the
radiuses.
curve?
Yeah, that's what they decided to do on the radiuses. It was I can get a close up. There's a better picture somewhere, but yep. And this was measured with the FlexiJet.
Oh, FlexiJet. Okay.
Yep. So you got the pewter and then the wood grain, and that's a 6-inch wide aluminum light track. It goes around on the inside there.
They're all plexiglass for that cut ready to drop into.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really cool when they're all done with it. This is on it's a condo / hotel in Clearwater, St. Pete.
St. Pete, right by the stadium and everything, right in Tropicana.
Oh, okay, cool. All righty.
Great.
Yes, sir. So
All right. How would you make out on this? We still working on it, or?
No, we got it all good.
I think we're done.
Okay. So when you're done, just hit the save button up here. If you try to close it, it will prompt you to save. However, I don't want to hang my hat on that, so I try to hit the save before I close it out. Now you can open that application straight from your exe directory if you would want. I believe it's called HiCAD GUI. HiCAD GUI Creator app is right here. If you wanted to, for example, send a shortcut like to your desktop or something like that. Or every time you save your element, it will open up automatically if you check that box. But sometimes you maybe want to make a dialog edit only, where you might want to open it up without saving the panel again. So anyway, here's where it is.
Okay.
All right. So here on page 6, we're going to make a simple elevation, and we're going to use the panel that we just built, okay? So let's go out to a separate drawing.
Do we have more than one drawing open at a time?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you can have, I think, up to 17, I think, is the strange magic number.
Okay. Is that,
Although,
it asked me,
just remember, it is, every drawing's gonna take up RAM, so,
yeah.
you know,
All right, so I have a new drawing open.
new drawing, and we're gonna make this 150 by 150 sketch.
On the XZ plane.
Correct. So this is going to be on your wall as it is on the project. Whether that's the XZ, the YZ, if it's you know, soffit, or you know, whatever.
So the drawing, would that be 3D standard? Or do I gotta go to 2D geometry?
To create your wall or to draw the sketch?
To draw the sketch.
It's just sketch function.
What am I missing?
So sketch ribbon. Can you see my screen? Sketch ribbon, and then
Okay.
new sketch, top left.
New sketch. Trying to pick my plane for the XZ. XZ.
Yes, XZ.
Where do you select that at? Oh, I see.
When you start the sketch, it'll ask you where you want your plane. No? Does it not?
Maybe I didn't start the sketch.
So you click right here, create new sketch in plane,
Mm-hmm.
and then here you can pick whatever plane you want it to be on.
Oh, it was out of view.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Thought I was doing something wrong.
And let's not do like that.
See?
Going okay with the sketch?
So far, I'm trying to do that center box, but I'm putting maybe I shouldn't put a reference line.
What I did, all right, I just drew something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remove these constraints. Okay. So now the window's blue. And then here's where I just started saying, you know,
Okay.
50, 50, and so on. You could, of course, use reference lines, but in my opinion, there's not really a need. It can be done without.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
How did you get to the part where who was that?
Oh, to delete the constraints?
Yeah.
I did it from the HCM list, one tab over from where you're at now. There's a 2D and a 3D. You're on the 2D one. So there's HCM 2D and there's HCM. So you have two of them?
I have this one. Okay, I got it.
So there's HCM 2D is for 2D. Just HCM without any other indication is 3D.
Okay. So just remove these two.
Yeah, you also could have done it from the drawing area. Maybe I should have done that. Might have been easier for you to follow, but
I could, let me redraw it.
no, you.
Okay.
Unless
And
you just
you're
want to
doing,
practice, that's fine. If you do.
Sure.
Okay.
Now how do I delete it?
Hit the delete button.
That's right.
No,
That was
that's the whole sketch.
thing.
I'm also interested in your plane. It looks like you're on the. Are you on the back of the?
I might be in the wrong plane.
No, you
How do
might
you
be
tell?
okay. Just hit the ISO view.
This one?
No, the one next to it.
Oh, I'm on the wrong plane. We wanted XZ, right?
Okay, you can rotate it.
All right. What is the
Right.
process for that?
Right click on the sketch. And under transform, you could transform about an edge, or you could go to others and transform about an axis. Which one did you do? I think you just hit move. You wanted to do a rotate one. So let's look at them carefully. So 1 is just move. 2 is move an edge. 3 is not rotate. 4 is not rotate. When you go to the next one, now we got rotate about an edge. Let's try that one this time. So just click. Okay.
90.
That's going to rotate it. I would have picked the vertical edge so that it would rotate about the y-axis, right? The straight.
Oh, we want YZ, not XZ. I thought we wanted XZ. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's see. How can I explain this? You are looking at the sketch coordinate system. Okay. If you try hitting W on the keyboard. Does anything happen? Or maybe we don't have that macro installed.
Okay.
We don't.
Something wants to happen, but no.
Okay. Instead of that, go to drawing ribbon at the top. And then go all the way over to the World CS button. And just click the button, not the arrow. Click it again.
I did.
It might have been anything.
Oh, hit F3 on the keyboard.
F3.
Your world coordinate system is not visible like it usually is. That's what I'm a little puzzled with. Let's see. Is that a button to deactivate? F3 did nothing?
F3 does nothing.
I got nothing on mine either with F3 or the world coordinate. I deactivated my part already though.
So we want this on the YZ plane, not the XZ plane.
Yeah, here, let me share my screen for a minute. Let me at least try to explain the concept that I'm trying to.
Oh, you should. I see you've got a view cube. I don't. Yeah.
So I have this axis here, and to be honest, I've never seen it disappear completely. So let's come back to that in a minute. So you have a global coordinate system, okay, which is designated here by the globe that for some reason we'll figure out why yours is showing up. But you got a global system here. When I click on a part, for example, like the sketch, it can activate a part system. So this is the sketch coordinate system based on the plane that I picked when I created the sketch. So a processing plane is not only the plane for where we're going to sketch on, but the processing plane is the zero reference for that function or that feature that is being created at that very moment. So
not necessarily according to the world.
Not the world. So here I can click world and it goes back to show the global coordinate system. And if I click part coordinate system up here, now I see the sketch coordinate system. And if I had more parts in my tree, it would be the same for each and every one. Now, what I want to try to figure out is why. Let's see. Sorry, not work, world. redrawings, the F3 key can be used. That's not a macro that we install. That should just happen. Barry, I might suggest
I've seen it before. It may just need a restart.
you might. But Marco, you said F3 wasn't doing anything for you either?
Nope. On the drawing 2 here, I have, I'll share my screen real quick. So, yeah, drawing 2 here, I got nothing. The drawing, little coordinate, does nothing. What
All
this
right.
one don't.
One of
I hovered over it.
One of y'all open up your configuration database for the settings. You remember what that is?
Top right corner.
Yeah. Top right corner configuration.
Okay. Takes a minute to show up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And then 1 second, system settings and visualization. System settings, visualization. And then click on visualization. Let's see, do we have here, supposed to be a show 3D coordinate system box. Oh, okay, you have that checked.
Mine's checked.
I'd say both of you guys, let's restart HiCAD and see what happens.
Okay. Fire and hole.
Go. Let's do a new drawing. Okay.
No, all I have is that your standard, what we had before with a. Looks like I've got the same thing Marco's got.
Still don't have that. Let me go to.
Yeah. I've seen that world before. I know we've had it.
Sketch. Create a new sketch. Plane. Still don't have that. Okay.
Never seen it disappear completely before.
Well, I selected the YZ. And it looks like I'm on the XY. Weird.
Let's see. Size of this can be changed by CS display function, drawings, others. Others, extras, settings permanent. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
What was
Now
it?
it's gone.
It's hiding behind a feature box or something. Ah, there it is.
Oh,
Found it.
so if you want to dock that, is this Marco screen?
Yeah.
Hit the little arrow. See the arrow in the middle of the drawing? Hit the one to the left, for example.
Okay. Like that.
And it'll, so see, it docks it there, but it moves, but it shortens the drawing area so that we can see the,
All right. So what do
All
I
right.
do?
Is that what's going on your side too, Barry?
I had the same thing Marco was having, but looks like he fixed his. I'm still
All right,
not
let's
fixed.
go back to your screen and we can fix it.
Good global. Okay.
So if you pick your feature and you see, go to the middle where the arrows are, like start dragging it and hit the left arrow, for example. So now it's going to
I see a little bit there.
dock it.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like, Barry, you don't have anything docked. You just have it kind of hanging out.
We're back behind there.
Now, let's try this, Barry. Grab, for example, let's start with your 3D structure. Let's drag that into the arrow as well. So let's
We'll
start
start
with
with this one.
1, for example. Let's hit the left arrow. Interesting.
Holy
Okay,
smoke.
now drag that whole thing to the left arrow.
Or this left arrow.
Might do the same thing. I think that left arrow is going to make it. No, you can drag them out a little bit and see if it.
Okay. But these should be vertically stacked, right?
Yeah. So try something like that, for example, and then you can resize it, and then you can dock your feature list wherever you want. I don't know where you actually want it.
Like everybody else's, I guess.
So then hit the left arrow. I think that will.
All right. So, okay. Here we go. It's not a world, but.
Hit the W. Hit the W, maybe.
What W?
On the keyboard.
Oh. There we go. Look at that.
There you go. So if the part system is active, which would be an indication of access without the globe, you can hit W to switch back to the globe.
Okay. So.
Well, okay, mystery solved. So now we can open up the drawings that you had up a minute ago.
Can I just make a new one? Or no?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you got your panel.
Saved it. Oh.
You didn't save your panel?
I did save that one. Yeah, I did.
All right.
I saved that one. So. Open. Which one was that? Where's recent? Do they have recent on there?
Yeah, it's right there. Load last used drawings.
Probably this one right here, I think. I thought we got rid of that. Well, maybe I didn't save it.
You saved it to your catalog, right?
Pretty sure. Oh yeah.
Okay, we can retrieve it. So if you saved it to your library but forgot to save the actual like SCA drawing file, we can dig it out of the catalog directories and import it right back in, and then you can save it as a drawing again.
Okay.
So
let's try that.
We need to know what the file name is. So let's open up the catalog for a minute. the CAD editor database.
That would be right there. This is the one that takes a long time to open.
Probably. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. All right, and we want to go to factory standards. And then near the bottom of the list, we'll have installation parts, installation planning. And then element installation. Installation elements, keep going. And then ISD example. Remember, this is a table that we picked when we saved it. And there you see panel mullets. Okay.
Yeah.
Now look over in the name column. You see how it maps to a partial path there?
Yeah.
The file that we're looking for is at 8322436621.kra. .kra is a 3D part file format. So now we can go to your directories, your file explorer.
Which is, close this out now? I've got this.
You can keep it open if we need to jump back to it for a minute.
Okay. Go over here to open.
Let's just. Yeah, that should be okay. Go to a new drawing. Yep. All right, and now go to, say, open. Let's see. I usually do it a different way, but let's try it. Let's say we say open. Let's see, open. Oh, we need to say open 3D import. And then
I think when it said save active drawing, I just hit no.
all right, let's do it the way I usually do it. Let's go to just File Explorer on your PC. And go to your catalog. Where is it? Wherever it is on the server.
Okay.
All right, and here you kind of have to learn your way. So I'm going to help you here. If you go to Works Norman.
That was what was in there.
Okay, thank you.
So we're looking
so Works
for
Norman.
Works Norman.
And then element, blah, 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 blah. And then example.
8322.
And then you should see it here. Is it the bottom one?
That one right there.
Now take that file and just drag and drop it into HiCAD and say main part.
I double clicked it.
Oh,
now
well,
I can just select main part here.
Just say main part. I think it's going to do it. Okay, now come to the cursor to the drawing area and hit right mouse button twice. Hit it again. Okay.
Now save.
While we're here, I see a little mistake that I probably didn't say anything about, so it's not your fault. You see how your panel is not saved on the origin?
Yes.
So we definitely want to save that on the origin. The best way to do that right now would be to transform But I would go to your feature list and roll your feature steps all the way up to the base sheet so that we have a nice sharp corner without flanges on it to reference. You know what I mean by
I'll
that?
do that.
Yep. Drag that insertion thing all the way up to just under step 1.
Under base sheet.
Yeah. Now we have a nice sharp corner to reference. So now go to your, I would do transform on the whole assembly.
Which would be just right click on this thing.
Well, you can't click on an assembly in the drawing field, so you need to go over to the structure so that you can right mouse button on the whole assembly.
Okay, so on this drawing then, right?
Assembly.
This one.
Yep, that one.
Okay.
And you're just going to say transform first option, which is, okay, point to point. So first option.
Okay.
Now click that upper corner point that we can nicely click on now that all of our flanges are gone. So I click. Okay.
Okay.
Now remember how you can reference the origin?
Right click.
Fitting point, right mouse button equals origin, which we would need, would it be this one?
The A key,
Oh.
or the A one there. Yeah.
This one, absolute position.
Yeah. Now give it a 0, 0, 0.
0, 0, 0.
Okay.
And
now
we're
your
there.
panel is on the origin. Now you can put your flanges back in the feature step.
What was that?
In the feature list, and then you can drag all the way down.
Okay.
Okay. A couple things to note here. Notice that the origin is on the front of the panel, and this is, in my opinion, the best recommendation so that the sketch that we're going to apply the element to is going to hold the face of the sketch and work backwards and work, in the Z minus. That way your sketch plane is the front of the panel. You're welcome to do it a different way. In my opinion, this is the best way. So maybe start out with my recommendation, and of course, if you find a new way that you like better, by all means, that's no problem.
Your recommendation,
Marco.
So,
you might want to check yours to see if you worked on the origin or not.
I believe I did.
Okay.
I think you may have covered that, because as soon as you said that, I started to remember a little bit that you did discuss that, Robert.
Here's what I did that you probably didn't catch is I drafted my sketch from the origin. So when I made actually we didn't make a sketch here. We did a base sheet, right? So when I created my base sheet, I did right mouse button origin to quickly set it on the origin. And depending on if you're paying attention at that exact second, you might have very easily missed that step.
All right. Chances are pretty good. Okay, so let's get back to, I want to make sure I'm on the correct plane for doing our sketch now.
Yeah. While you think of it, Barry, go ahead and hit the save as so that you have an SVA file of this panel, because we're going to keep working on this further and further. In the end, you'll have quite a bit of steps captured here. You won't necessarily want to lose that work.
All right. All right. Okay. We are saved.
Okay.
Now, I went to sketch. I'm trying to pick my plane, and
check one thing for me real quick, Barry, before we move on.
Yeah.
Go over to properties tab right next to the HCM that you're on. It's going to be at the bottom left. Properties
tab right there.
And you see your part name there?
Yeah.
832 blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
That is the same number that we found in your catalog, right? I think it is.
Yep.
Okay. See, that's critical, because if that number was different and you went to save your element again, it would act like it's never seen it before. Because that is the part name for this panel assembly. Now you can change that. If you don't want it to be blah 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 numbers, that's fine. You could change that name. However, on your HiCAD side, you're never going to see that number because you gave it an article number in the catalog that will come up in your menu. So you could make that better if you want. I would recommend doing it at the beginning rather than now. Or you could leave it alone because you get a nice article number in the catalog entry. It's kind of up to you.
Okay.
Now, it would have been a lot easier to find it in the catalog if we weren't looking for some number that we had to look up. I just point that out. And maybe it doesn't make sense to you right now, but maybe it will later.
Well, I saved my file name to this and just added that at the end.
Yeah. So that is the name of the panel assembly,
Right.
as it is now.
Okay.
I would leave it alone, but just know that you could, before you save it to your library, we could have given that a better name, like, panel berry or panel mullets or something.
Okay.
It makes it easier to find in the catalog if you need to go do what we just did. That's all.
Okay. All right.
All right. Now try your sketch, which is where we're trying to get to, right?
Yeah. All right. So sketch, and now I want to let me look at the document. We want the XZ plane.
Yeah, so jump over to a new drawing because we want to build the panel in this one and we want to apply it in a project file, such as the example that we're doing.
Okay. We're going to go new.
New? Yep.
And sketch.
New, sketch, yep. And then
want
top left button for new sketch.
Top, okay, yeah. And then,
now
okay.
Here's where you pick your plane.
I thought it was YZ, so I selected that one. But it looks like we need this one. Yes.
For this situation, let's go ahead and use that one. But let's say you were doing the east side of the building. Okay, then you might need to pick a different one than this, right?
Right. So we'll just so for this example,
just click right now.
Yes. XZ, we want this one, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And you see how your coordinate system just changed from the globe over to local to this sketch that you're building. That's why the globe went away, and now you see XY is what you're sketching on now, and the Z is coming towards you. Where if we went back to the world, Z is going up, right?
What I find helpful when I do this in AutoCAD is AutoCAD still shows a reference to the world. And I know, and that's how I know that they're different. And I'm not working in the world. I'm working in, whatever's isolated here. So when that world goes away, I don't really know any different. So I guess maybe I should, because the world's no longer there. Now I have this cube with my
Yeah, that is the only indication that I know of. Basically, the world means world, and if you don't see the world, that means it's going to be a local coordinate system related to the part or function that you're currently working on.
Right. Okay. So I want to go to, I did it different the first time. So we're looking for 150 by 150. Select opposite corner, point, and then space bar.
If you did the space bar before you clicked a second time, then it would have come up. But since you clicked too soon, now just edit the values. So you got 5.1 and 5.4. Just double click on each one and change them to 150.
Should I hit escape first?
Escape or middle mouse or just OK.
Okay, so
yeah.
We can edit these corners.
You see the 5.1 and the 5.4, that is that's the length of those sides, which is, well, rather small, of course, but you double click it and a dialog comes up. And you can, no, you double clicked on the sketch, double click on the value, maybe zoom in a little bit. I could see it. Now double click.
There we go.
There you go. So now 150.
150, and then we'll go double click over here. And then we want to do the same thing in the middle like Robert did. So one click, hit space bar before I click again.
I just clicked again, and then I removed the values that it gave it, and I created my new constraints using distances to the sides and top and bottom.
Where are those values?
So
I'm going to try to do it right here.
That's fine. Anyway. Just right click.
And delete.
Say delete.
And now,
this is smart dimension.
Smart dimension. We'll go from here to here.
Yep.
And you wanted, what was it, 50?
50.
Oops. What did I do wrong?
Just click, and then it'll come up.
Okay. And then another smart dimension. Here, here.
Yep.
And that's going to be 50. Okay, that was simple. Not. I mean, this part was simple, but. Oh.
So do it on all sides. See, we didn't define the dimension of the window. We're defining it based on the distances to the sides.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I got you.
See, if we hadn't cleared out those initial dimensions of that window opening, and we went right away into smart dimensioning, it would be throwing errors at us because they would be fighting. The two values would be fighting one another, and it would say, hey, you have a conflict here in your constraint.
Right. All right. So there we go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, let's come back over here. I must have deleted. No, there they are. Okay, so we have a sketch. And let's see, I think we're building a wall. So we're going to build a wall here. Now, is the wall necessary? No, it's for a visual. It's for a reference point for your cladding. All you need is a sketch to create the panels. However, a wall is really good to have there as a basis for the project so that you know what spacing to use, you know, where to put any substructure. So I just want to point out, you don't need the wall, but the wall is really good to create for your project, okay? So we're going to come over here. And we have a nice button here in Civil Engineering General as General Building Material from Sketch. This is basically an extrude, but it allows you to add like material, and it would do, it's a little smarter than just an extrude. However, you could use an extrude here, but I suggest this one instead.
Okay. Click that one. Yeah.
We click this one, and here, hopefully it found your sketch if it was active. Here, let's delete it after creation so the sketch isn't cluttering up the structure. And let's go select in the material library something like maybe concrete, for example.
I've got concrete reinforced.
Yeah, I got.
So double click. And here we're gonna, okay, it says length here. Length in this case means the depth of the part into the Z minus direction, for example. So how thick is this wall going to be? I don't know. So an example says 6 inches. Okay.
All right.
And so what is the difference between this and extrude? In this case, it creates it with the steel module, which it makes it a little bit smarter. Now, does it really matter to create a basic wall? Maybe, maybe not. But I prefer to teach this. It used to be this part would create hatching and the extrude would not, but now they both create hatching if you were to do a sectional or a cut view. However, this just means it's created as a steel, quote unquote, steel part. That doesn't mean it's an I-beam. It just means it's a steel type part where extrude would just create a, let me just copy the sketch here for example's sake, move this. So let's say we use the same sketch to make an extrude. -6. Okay, they look the same, but you see how one's created with steel and one's just a basic part. Here, the attribute properties, and let me just snip this here. The attribute properties are a little more intricate for steel than just a regular old solid. So would they both work? Yes. Which one do I think is just a little bit better? I think the steel part. So that's why I showed that. Other than that, the visual is exactly the same.
And you got that through civil engineering functions. And
yep, it's over in here. I know we haven't done this yet, but this is the same set of functions where we can create insulation and moisture barrier and sealant and types of items that would go in, for example, a detail that you got to show.
Right.
All right, so we got a wall. Here's where I like to have a little bit of fun with it. And right click on the part. And here I can go to texture, for example. And let's see what happens. For some reason, my computer takes a really long time to open the texture menu.
Mine too.
Where's the texture menu?
Right click on the part and go to properties at the very bottom.
Oh, there it goes. I'm in.
Oh, okay.
And then textures close to the top of the next menu.
I got it.
Ooh, fancy concretes. Yeah, concrete.
Well, when you said that, you said when you do a sectional view, whether you're extruding or when you go with that other function, they both perform a hatch where they used to not, or do they still not perform a hatch?
No. You'll get the hatch with the extruded part. However, with the steel type part, it'll create the hatching per the material. You can assign a hatch to that material, where the extrude will give you just like a general hatching setting.
Well, that'll save you a step down the road if you're ever doing sectional views. You don't have to go chase down what material it is because it's already there, right?
Yeah, that's another benefit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I would want to do that then if we're doing different materials. Okay, mine loaded up.
Yeah, mine takes forever, probably because I have a bunch of more textures in here. I don't know. I think it's probably something that should be improved on our side. I don't think it should take this long to open up a texture dialog. But while you're in there, while you're looking at it and I'm not, you got all kinds of different categories there, from wall types and floor types. You got wood and stone. Somewhere in there is concrete. I can't remember. It's probably a wall or floor type. And there's like an exposed concrete in there. I don't know if you see that.
It would be under architecture wall. They have exposed concrete. Architecture first, then wall. So there's different types of exposed concrete. Detail 1, detail 2. Exposed aggregate.
Yeah, there's a bunch in there. You can, however, so you know, you can take a JPEG or a picture file and turn that into a texture, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I might need one of y'all to teach class, because my menu still hasn't come up.
Does it matter which one we pick?
No, it doesn't.
One in particular?
You can pick whatever you want.
I went with Concrete 12. It's got the coolest look.
What'd you go with, Marco?
Concrete 12.
I don't know what that is. Rough cast? No.
I don't know. Where'd you go? Properties, texture, non-metal synthetic concrete.
Oh, you went down that way.
Yep. There's something in architectural too. Wall.
Yeah, that's where I was. You went with 12. I'm gonna go with 12.
But the clinker brick. Look at all these bricks.
I like the bricks, actually.
There's a lot of good bricks. Wall. A bunch of different masonry walls. A little CMU looking block. Exposed concrete. Ooh. Exposed concrete's pretty good. Ooh, look at that one.
Mine's still not up. I think I know what's going on. I think I got some textures in there that I repeated. I made it small and repeated it so many times. And I think it's just loading those little image files that are on top of each texture. And I think it's hung up on some of what I have in here.
Oh,
I think that's what's going on my side.
One log.
so you're saying you could probably sell your texture library? It's got that many in there, huh?
I don't even think it's that many in there. I got a few that I maybe made. You can change the scale of it
Okay.
so that the height and width. And I feel like I might have had some in there that I made really small so it would repeat in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I think it's hung up on creating that preview file for these examples. That's what I think is going on.
Okay.
I don't think it'll crash, but and it only does this once per day. So the first time I open the texture menu of that day, this happens.
Wow.
Like
There it
there you
goes.
go.
Look at that.
So I'm thinking I modeled my house for renovations and I was playing around with fireplaces. I think maybe this mesh, I don't know. I think one of these are giving it problems. So I just need to probably clean up this folder. But here, you probably went here and then wall exposed.
Did you make that mesh? Or was that stock?
I made this out of a JPEG, I think.
Okay.
So you have properties down here, and here's where you can scale
Oh, I didn't see that.
horizontal and vertically, and you can change them proportionally with the box checked, or you can change them individually. You can change the angle, for example, this one's probably not going to look too different, but if you make this 90, you see it shifts.
Yeah.
The projection, I've never played around with this, but we got some different things here.
Where do you change it? Okay.
Sometimes this automatic parameters is unchecked and you don't get a preview when that happens. So if you have this minimized and you're picking these, wondering why you don't see anything over here, it's often because this gets unchecked sometimes.
So how do you change the scale? Because I go to hit, like, let's say I want half of this scale, 0.5. It just, the drop down doesn't, or can I just type something in there?
Yeah, you type it in.
0.5. Okay. There we go.
Other noteworthy, you see at the bottom, you get a little, I don't know, eyedropper or whatever it is. So say you want to take over an existing texture in the model, then all you got to do is select the object that you want to take over. So say you already made this wall, and then you went to make another wall, and you want your new wall to have the same texture as the old wall, and you don't want to dig through all these menus to find it. You just click this, and then click the existing wall. It'll take over the texture that way.
Okay.
And I'm going to save this file that we're working on here.
I'm going to save mine too.
All right. All right. I'm here on page 8. And so we made our wall here on page 7. And now we're going to create a sketch for some cladding.
Okay.
Now, we start a new sketch, separate sketch, for example, on this wall as the processing plane.
Matter which way our arrows are facing when we select the wall. Yeah, like
Say again?
our like directional arrows, no matter which way they're facing when we select anywhere on the wall.
You mean the coordinate system arrows or the arrows for the processing plane?
Those right there.
So yeah, this is setting the orientation for the plane. So say, for example, this is
Sorry.
what I would want to see here because the X is going from left to right and the Y is going from bottom to top. But note that if you were to change your cursor to a situation like this, now your X is going up and your Y is going to the left. So as you move it around on the plane, the arrows are going to dance around based on where you have your cursor.
I'm gonna try to go bottom left and keep X and Y.
I think that's proper.
I got it.
Yeah.
So now, once we select that, this sketch is active that we're working on, and note that the coordinate system here is not showing world, it's showing part. So because we have this sketch active and we're working on it, okay? Now, to create a grid, something like this, let's say, there's a lot of different ways we could go about this. But what I want to take the opportunity here is to show this takeover edges button. I don't know if you've done that at all.
No.
But just watch me for a minute, and then I'll let you work. So take over edges. This allows you to take over by click, 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 whatever you want, and then middle mouse. And you see how I just captured those edges onto my sketch. And you can reselect it. You can do more, blah, 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 blah. So that's edge by edge.
Here's the two bits in the toolbox and tools.
But what you also have that's great for this situation is take over edges, immediately right mouse button. You got different options here, connected lines, tangentially, or your surface boundary. And here, notice that I select on this surface, I've got a preview of what it could take over by the pink lines. You see that? And I click once and they turn teal. Once they turn teal, you do a middle mouse and I just took over all the edges of that surface.
You just created sketch entities based off of edges on the surface you clicked on.
Correct.
But for SolidWorks, that would be convert entities.
Okay. So
it's the same thing. So you're taking an element that's pre-existing, and you're extracting the edges so you can use them in the sketch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a similar function for SolidWorks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, now let's say I want to create a sketch like this. I would, for example, take these lengthen, shorten line, and I might just start dragging these out. Something like this. Now, like I said, there's more than one way to create this sketch, but this is just a way. Now, what else could you have done? Well, let's say I get rid of everything here. You could have also said, you could have just snapped to the rectangle here, and then you could have done a clone from here to here. They happen to be equal in this situation. You could clone this way, and then clone this way. That was actually pretty quick. But I wanted to show you the takeover command. So here's what we have. And then say you want to extend this up, for example, to put a parapet cap on top or something like that. Here we have a nice command called move points. In which case you could pick one by one, or you could say right mouse button, let's say, for example, in a rectangle. So it selected the line and all the points. By selecting the points, it's going to hold everything here and let's say move everything up, 8 inches or something. Lots of different ways. These are just a couple that you learned today. Questions before you try on your own?
What do you got? Planet view.
And I'm happy to repeat anything you'd like to see again.
Rinse and repeat. So that first function was take over.
Yep.
Take over. And just click on the plane. That's gonna assign.
So to activate selection of the plane, so by default it's 1 by 1, okay, when you call up the command here. If you right mouse button in the drawing area, you now have extra options here, such as surface boundary.
Okay. Take off. Surface boundary. And then do I have to define that surface? Looks like I did, or just click on the surface.
Just click once on the surface and then middle mouse button to apply. And it's telling you this down here if you
okay.
If you get confused.
All right. Looks like I've got them created because there are some green lines on my concrete now. And then you went to
then I did lengthen or shorten.
Okay.
And I just started pulling the items out one by one. And it's the 1 by 1 part that I don't like so much here.
Do you have to keep repeating the command, or I got to hit middle mouse button?
No, you can
just start grabbing.
Yeah, just start grabbing. Here, let me back up. So the command stays active. So I drag this one, click, click. Command is still active. Drag the next one, click, click. Command is still active.
Okay.
The command will stay active until you hit middle mouse button or probably escape.
And then what's after that? You want to raise that up some.
Yeah. So here's where I might want to look at it straight on. Maybe that would have been nice the whole time, but the choice was yours there. So if you click this one, for example, it's going to snap to your active, whatever active XY plane is active at this very moment. So here we can say move points.
Move points.
Because let's see, before we, I want to try just move because I don't think this is as good. I just can't remember why. So let's say I select that line. I say move up. I say 8. You see how this moves only that one line?
Yeah.
When we say move points, it's lines and points. And the points, since the points are attached to these sideline segments, then it's going to move everything together. So that's why move points is far superior here than just move.
Please. Like it just zoomed in. All right, move points. Like lines or points. Mine's not highlighting. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
So this is where I'm at.
Okay.
Move points.
Okay.
I left click it.
Right
Huh?
mouse button.
Oh, that's what I'm missing. Right mouse button.
Lines and
Right.
points in a rectangle.
All right, well, that's what I forgot. There.
There you go.
You want to set our displacement?
Yeah, so pick a line going in the direction that you want it to go, which is up. So
How do you know which way?
zoom out a little.
Looks like it's
You see
creating
the
an
arrow?
Yeah.
So if you want to go down, you pick the top end. If you want to go up, you pick the bottom end of that line. You see?
Okay. Yep.
Now, if you pick it wrong, no worries. You can use a negative value to influence it to go the opposite direction.
Picking that. And would you still 8 inches? You said?
Just yeah, 8 inches.
Okay. And we're good.
Yep, that's it for the moment. Now, if you want to practice the second method I showed, you're happy to.
I have a hard enough time remembering this one.
Okay.
So
No
I get
problem.
in and do some
There's plenty of time to
repetition.
learn, plenty of time to draw sketches. We'll be doing that all the time. All right, let's see what they got next first here. Okay, so now we have a nice sketch to use for cladding, for example. Now, a couple of points here is this sketch must be actually joined, so it can't be like that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't have double lines. I don't think we would have created any double lines here, but it can be when you use these clone commands. For example, if I took this line here and cloned it 1, 2, 3 times on top of a rectangle that I already had, there could easily be a double line missed here that you forgot about. So consider that. Here's why every time I draw a sketch, I quickly go to here and say, delete double lines just in case. Again, I don't think we have them here. And I also hit this sort GE. Remember this sort button?
Yeah.
Cleans up things just a little bit.
And joins polylines or joins lines.
Yeah. So that can, these two, this one and this one can help you out. I would just get in the habit of using them quickly as you're preparing sketches in general. So now that we have a sketch, we come over here to layout planning, and we're going to use our first main command. I guess we use the save command, so I guess this is our second command over here in these tools.
Preparation? No. Just click on layout planning.
Yeah, I usually don't expand these, especially
Okay.
this one, since it's kind of a short menu here. For like steel engineering, for example, which I know you don't do, you got buttons after buttons after buttons. That could be useful to, click on these categories first. But for layout planning, in my opinion, there's not that many buttons here to try to learn. But again, I've been doing this for 4.5 years, so maybe I'm jaded here. But we're going to use this first button. And so if we had a problem with this sketch, let me simulate a problem real quick. Let's say my line was like that, and I don't know, let's say I had a double edge here, okay? Can't really see it. Let's even say that this was so small that we can barely not even see it, maybe from way out here. So let's say I actually had a problem, okay? Double edges. Like it'll tell you here, let me get rid of my double edge because I still have a problem here. So here, double edges. So here, you see how box, 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 box. You see how this behaves as one?
Yeah.
That's because remember my edge right there, my line was not joined.
Okay.
Let's see if sort actually fixes that for me here. I'm not sure if it will or not. So
Well,
I hit
it'll
sort.
still allow you to continue. It just won't count that as two distinct.
Didn't,
Okay.
it wasn't close enough. But here, let me come down here and just say join.
They're like an extend command.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I actually used the same one there that we would have used to extend all the lines out. So let's say, for example, this was not a true square. Let's say, I don't know, you had something that looked more like this. Okay, that's exaggerated, but obviously this is where the other method of variance will come into play that we'll learn later. Right now we're doing squares and rectangles. But let's say you don't have a square and rectangle here. When I go to load my panel, it's going to say no go for these areas. Okay, so now I know, okay, this I didn't pay enough attention to, and you know, I can come back and make the adjustment. So you do get indications of when there's problems, either double edges or unjoined lines like that, or the panel that you're trying to load was not created for certain situations, such as in this case right here, anything other than a rectangular shape. Notice
Very
that
rarely is our stuff truly rectangular shaped.
I understand that, which is why we're going to learn the other method here soon enough.
Actually, it's about half the time.
Okay. So notice that your dialog loads here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's one thing that's happening here that or is not happening here that I would like to fix. I don't know if you remember from the demo, either from earlier on today or from however many a month or plus ago, where you get a preview when you load the panel. I don't know if you remember that at all.
Nope.
So let me load a different product. Let me load so here. It takes a little minute because it's loading the preview. You see how I actually see
Oh, yeah.
a panel preview here?
Yep.
But when I go over to the one we just built, we don't see that, okay?
Right.
Is that a problem? No, we just didn't set that up. So in our catalog, which came up on the wrong screen, in our catalog, and Barry, we just went here a moment ago.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to it on my computer. In all of this somewhere, I've got an entry. God, I got 86 of these freaking things in here. That's way too many. Here we have a preview file column. So a little bit about this table, okay? BZ, that stands for some German word. I'm sorry about that, but basically this is your article number. So this is the article name that you gave it when you saved your panel. Next one over, Barry.
That's the
Barry might
3D
remember
file
from
name.
a few minutes ago. This is your 3D part file of this panel, okay? Next column, we have preview file. You see how some of my part files here have an entry in the preview file and some don't.
Yeah.
Until you
Copy.
until you tell it
one available.
until you tell it which part file to use to create the preview, it doesn't create any preview. So this is something that you have to do manually after you create your entry. Sorry about that, but it's just a step to setting this up correctly. While we're here, you see dialogue. Why do some of mine have an entry and some not? Okay. In your, Barry, I don't know if you noticed, but in your directory where this KRA is, there's going to be the same number .isd GUI, as well as the same number .csv. I don't know if you happen to notice that there or not.
I did not.
You might
I can look real quick.
you might share your screen and open that up, because my folder on my computer is going to have all this other junk in there, and it might be a little bit harder to follow.
My concern is I'm still here with this element installation.
That's okay. Nothing's really lost because we haven't really done anything.
Okay. So we'll go over here into catalog. Was it the catalog editor?
It's cat editor, but we also want to pull up the file explorer because we want to go look at the part files.
Okay, I think we still have that open.
You might.
Yep, right here.
Yep. Okay, so look at what we got. We've got no, you're in the right spot. We're already in the right folder example.
Click on that one.
Yep. So I believe yours is the bottom. You see you have 832 blah, 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 KRA, but look above it.
Mm-hmm.
You have that same part name,
.csv.
Those are your variables, okay? ISD GUI file is where that dialogue work that we did is saved. So notice that it's the identical part name to the KRA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you make them identical, you don't need an entry in your dialogue column, okay?
Oh.
If your part name and your GUI file have the same name, minus the extension, of course, then you don't need to you don't need a table entry there. Now, it could
dialogue.
be for dialogue, yes.
Right.
For dialogue. It could be that you create a more general dialogue that works on multiple parts. I don't see it so common, but it could happen. You could use the same variables in multiple part files and want one GUI file that powers all those part files. Now, in that case, they're not all going to have the same number. So here's where you might want to, here's where you need to map specifically to the GUI file that you wanted to use. So typical situation, you don't need a map to a GUI file. However, in advanced situations, and probably you don't have to worry about this for a little bit, you might want to map to something a little more unique to the situation. Understand?
Yes.
All right, so go ahead and edit your entry there to include a GUI or a preview file, I'm sorry.
All right. I'm just gonna, is it a drag and drop or a copy paste?
You just Control C, move over, Control V is all you need here.
Save?
Yes. Don't forget to save.
Okay. Oh, I think we're good since our file names match. We don't need anything in dialogue, right? And
correct.
You come back here.
Now, Marco, it probably wasn't letting you edit that same table until Barry left that page. So I don't know if you're having trouble there or not.
I didn't try. I know it's on the same directory, so I just kind of let him do it and watch.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I'll minimize this. I'll let you take care of yours. I didn't see an entry for yours there, Marco, in that same table. Did you put it somewhere else, or?
Let's see, did I save that? I don't know if I can save that one to the catalog, honestly. I'm trying not to clog up the folder. But I can real quick.
You probably want to save something so that you can work on this elevation example.
All right, I'll just pull in Barry's drawing for the panel there. But
That's okay. You could use Barry's panel.
let's see, I still have it open here.
However, I would want to know that the panel that you're building is working.
Okay. Let me share that real quick. See.
Okay.
All right, I got the panel here, and then I want to save that as a part, right?
Yep. So jump back over to your 3D structure. We need to make sure the assembly is highlighted. No, you're in the right drawing. You see, you got your 2D structure pulled up. We want the 3D structure. So, okay, you got it right. Oh, good. So now hit that save button. You remember which one it was?
No.
Over there on your bottom right of the screen.
What are these? What was it? Save as.
You see the one, that one right there. Yeah.
That's the example. He had panel mullets. I'm just gonna call it wall panel.
Yeah, whatever you want, or panel mullets, Marco, or whatever. Oh.
Okay, example looks good. All right. My GUI editor came up. That looks good.
You can just X that out. If you don't have any changes to make, you just X it back out. That's fine.
All right, so now I got the wall pulled up. I want to add the element.
Now, if you want your preview to appear, remember we got to do the step that we just went over.
Yeah, okay. Catalog, cat editor, right?
Correct. Yep.
Pop up. There it is. It's popping up on the screen here.
It's open. Do you see it down there?
Yeah.
At the bottom?
There it is. All right.
All right. So here's where you just gotta sort of learn where it is. So it's factory standard. And then near the bottom, you got installation, planning, and just keep expanding. So now you go to element, now you go to installation, now you go to example, and find your entry there. And remember, you just want to copy that part name over to the preview file column.
Save.
And save. And good. Now, since you made a library change, and Barry, you'll probably have to do this too, you might need to reload your catalog. What the heck do I mean by that?
Refresh it.
Yeah, you want to hit that reload up there in the button at the top right. You probably have to back out of here, Marco.
I see it. All right, reloading.
Reload.
So it's like a refresh.
So when you make a table entry change, you got to do that reload.
Okay.
If you only change your part file is just hanging out there waiting to be used. So your part file isn't really a table change, right? So now we see on Marco's screen that he has a preview.
let's see.
Do you try yours, Barry? Do you have a preview this time?
Getting ready to try that now.
Okay.
Element installation. How do I get there again?
Layout planning.
Layout planning and then button number 1.
Oh yeah. I have to
Is
load
this
it.
like a product standard gap in the middle there? How do they determine that?
Yeah, okay, let me explain. You see that where you have joint towards width line on your configurator there in the middle?
Level of detail offset. Oh yeah, there it is. Ooh, could I expand that? Okay.
So it's going to load this default, which is some kind of metric conversion, and also remember your last values used. Now, however, we can determine a standard for the panel system that you're building, and we set that also in the catalog.
So these are in millimeters.
No, it's
They're
in inches,
in
but
inches.
the reason it's a strange looking number is because they probably took, I don't know, maybe 5 millimeters and converted it to inches, perhaps. So you can change those values. Here, let me come back.
Yeah.
So notice that it is, so basically these values is half the reveal.
Okay, so yeah, so it'd be 5/8 divided by 2 if we like a 5/8 gap there. So it'd be
Well, if you wanna say-
0.3125 would be
It's like 12th thou off. I think it's pretty close.
Oh, 5/8?
yeah, 5/8 is what
5/16?
we shoot for. Yep, exactly. Got it.
0.3125 would be what we want on there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So usually here I say up top, delete sketch after creation, because you don't need that sketch cluttering up your part structure, because the sketch is always retrievable and editable via the feature. So you don't need 2 copies of that sketch. You always get one. You don't really need that other.
Right.
So you can say okay, and it'll construct this elevation. One thing I missed here is you got a window in the middle, right? So you're
Well, we
not,
used to.
you don't have to use every square, okay? You can click on one and say, remove the panel from it just by hitting this delete. So you click and say delete. And you see in the preview, it removes that panel from that grid.
How do we get to that element installation box again? Civil engineering.
Oh, double click your feature step.
Oh, okay. I got you. Click and delete. I must be doing something wrong.
Oh, you're welcome to share if you want.
Yeah, because so I go to oh, it's still, so I've got that, but it is offset. So when I'm looking at it, from the XY there. How do I deselect that?
I'm not sure I follow. What are you trying to deselect?
The red part in the middle.
Okay, so double click on your feature step. You see you get a feature step there for element installation?
That one or
Okay.
the one below it? No, not insert position. Okay,
So click on the middle area.
this middle area. Okay.
Yep. Now just hit that delete key next to the variant. So you got panel variant.
Hey,
This one.
Yep. And so now you've removed that panel from that square only. Now,
Okay.
we also need to figure out why your panel's shifting up and to the right.
I have no idea. Did I offset it somehow?
looks like my panels are embedded in the concrete.
I wonder if let me cancel this. I wonder if when I first went in there to do these changes, I thought maybe that might have no.
No,
Here's
because
an offset.
it's going to hold the square, but subtract those values. Now, if you want no reveal, let's say the architect gives you a preliminary grid. The architect usually drafts the reveal in there, from at least from what I've seen. Sometimes you want that reveal to be 0 if you want to use what the architect already prepared. If you prepare your own sketch, I recommend doing it the way we did here. But sometimes somebody gives you something, a sketch that can be converted from AutoCAD to HiCAD with the reveal, with the offset lines in there to create the reveal. So in that situation, you change that to a 0 for the joint width for all 4 of them. But let's try to figure out why it's
Yeah.
I think I know. Let's you can delete your middle panel maybe, and then just say okay to apply again. Now let's jump back to your panel file.
In catalog.
No, just that other drawing that we've been preparing your panel in.
Is there a quick way to?
Which drawing?
Yeah.
It's down there next to your views.
Over here.
So you got variables, views, and then switch drawings down there at the bottom.
Okay, I got you.
So now, well, you had one there as a panel.
Oh,
You
I
close
did.
it.
I didn't think so. It didn't.
So remember, so if you don't click the blank space in the switch drawing before opening up a file, it will close the one that you're currently working in.
It didn't ask me if I wanted to save it, so I figured it was still open. So maybe I saved it before doing that, and it just assumed. There's a good chance because I was, after losing one and having to chase it back, I've been hitting save.
So let's just go up to your recents, and it's probably going to be right there. Well, that's the one you already have open. Look at the image.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay. This one.
There it is. That looks more like it. So, okay. We moved the assembly to the origin. I thought that was good enough, but what I think is going on is that the sketch was not drafted from the origin.
Yep, that's what I would say.
Can you return to your your sketch. Do you remember how to do that? So if you go to your sheet metal part, or did you do a sketch here or did you do a base sheet?
I did a sketch here.
Oh, okay. So go down to your sheet metal part.
On here, one of these.
And expand the base sheet. And no, you didn't do a sketch.
What did I do?
You just used the base sheet command.
For the base sheet.
Yeah.
What we were talking about. Remember?
Hit the processing plane there for. You see, base sheet has a processing plane. Just. Because remember, this was originally not on the origin, but we moved the assembly.
Yeah.
Try moving the sheet metal part. So let's see, activate the part coordinate system. Remember from, first off, let's not be clicking on a sheet flange. Let's go up to the actual sheet metal main part in the structure.
Where's it? Where's that at? This one?
The very top. Okay, now activate your part coordinate system. So drawing, ribbon, and then all the way over to the drop down under World CS and say Part CS, first one. That also looks okay. How about this? Can you email me this drawing of your panel?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have an answer for you either next time or hopefully before next time. Okay?
That'll work. You know, it'd be cool.
I'll have to study it a little bit, but I should have an answer.
I was supposed to email you our title block too. I haven't done that yet.
Okay. Yeah, whenever you can.
Yep. You want this one, right? Whichever one this is, which is okay. Sometimes there's a email function right from this menu.
I think it's in drawing. I don't usually use it, but drawing, print. I thought there was one. Close. Leave further, no. Used to be there. I think I moved it. And since I don't really use it, I don't know where it is. Catalog exchange. Good question. Let's see. Email. Oh, calling.
They might have took it out.
I wouldn't have thought. I don't know. Save as. Oh, email. So save as. Save as drop down. And email. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going to happen. Does it open up the Outlook message or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I just lost it. I lost it again. Oh, that's not it. This is it. Look at you first. Oops. What was the issue? We lost our sketch.
Panel is shifting from its origin on the elevation sketch.
Panel. How's that?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I know what's going on, but yeah, it's good to have a reminder.
Okay, on its way.
All right.
Lunchtime?
Yeah. We're past time here, but hey, I like to stop at a good stopping point, so sometimes I just go a little bit more.
Okay. Understandable.
All right. Well,
Yes, sir.
good deal, guys. We'll pick it back up on Friday.
Sounds good. 9 o'clock Friday.
Yes, sir.
All right. Catch you guys later. See you.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good week.
You too.